Hello, everybody. Welcome in to a special Halloween edition of the Triple Threat Show. I am your host, Jeremy Lapidus, today joined by my friend and co-host, Mehrob Fatemi Jack Skellington over there. We have a lot to talk about today. The trade deadline just a couple days away as the NFL season reaches its midway point. We'll talk about the blowout that was Thursday Night Football. We will go over everything, and I mean everything you need to know about this week's slate of games. We are going a perfect whatever amount of games there are because of bye weeks and this week in the NFL. It is going to be absolute domination from the Triple Threat crew. I believe there are 15 games this week. 14 teams on bye. 14 games this week. We're already 1-0, all of us. We're going to go 13-0 on Sunday and Monday. We'll talk about the Thursday Night Football game. We'll talk about the Week 9 games. We will go over the NBA, drama around the NBA. We talked about the off-the-court stuff. Let's talk about the on-the-court stuff. We're about 2 weeks into the season, a week and a half into the season. Let's talk about what's going on over there, as well as the World Series. Blue Jays take a 3-2 series lead behind Trey Savage. What a story he has been. Let's start off with Thursday Night Football, though, Mehrob. Lamar Jackson returns for the Ravens. A beautiful, no longer Jack Skellington, Mehrob Fatemi. No longer are the Ravens without Lamar Jackson, and you can see the difference. 4 touchdowns thrown by the returning former MVP. He has been amazing for this team. Everything that they need him to be and more. Of course, that's what you are when you're an MVP level player. But he returns, and it's huge. Obviously, my God, Mark Andrews, 2 touchdowns last night, a huge game for him. He's really taken over that role after a down year last year where it looked like Isaiah Likely was going to take that job back. But the thing that impressed me the most about the Ravens this week against the Dolphins was the defense. The defense that shut them down, didn't allow a touchdown. That is huge improvement for a team that I know it's against the Dolphins, but still, this is a Dolphins team that just 2 or 4 touchdowns last week. This is a team that was heating up. You still have Devon Achane. That's a dangerous team. And the Ravens didn't let them score a single touchdown. And that, for a defense that was getting cooked all season long, is huge improvement. And again, it just continues to show why I think the Ravens are going to win the AFC North this season with how it's going. They're only 2 games back at this point of the Steelers.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, this was a big-time game for the Ravens to show up and kind of put the league back on notice that when they have Lamar fully healthy, this offense is absolutely dialed. You talk about the defense. I kind of just want to talk about the offense for a second. I mean, Zay Flowers had over 60 yards for the first time since Lamar Jackson being out. Um, Mark Andrews, you mentioned 2 touchdowns. Isaiah Likely still got active with it, still had 3 receptions for 60 yards. And then Derrick Henry, of course, having his normal 100-yard game in his own right. I mean, this team was firing on all cylinders. Offensively, defensively, Dolphins didn't score a touchdown the entire game. This was just a phenomenal game. It was a beatdown. The Dolphins were 2-12. 2-12 on third downs, third down conversions. So when I'm looking at this team, it was just a well-rounded game from the Ravens, and just really quick. I know we want to talk about the Ravens a lot and how they kind of put themselves back into the AFC North conversation, but let's talk a little bit about Mike McDaniels here. And his job security. I mean, this is a guy that has already been rumored that his coach is already on the hot seat. His coaching spot is already on the hot seat. Does he get fired later today? Does he get fired by Monday? Does he coach another game with the Dolphins? I personally don't think so, but I mean, this is a really, really bad Dolphins team right now. And I don't know if it's just him, if he's lost the locker room. Injuries definitely play a role in this. But I don't know if you can excuse the type of performance that you put on against a pretty banged up Ravens defense, not having a single touchdown in that game. I mean, it was just domination every which way.
Yeah, the Ravens very good against the Dolphins historically, especially with Lamar Jackson playing football. He just loves to play in Miami and against the Dolphins. but the but the thing with Mike McDaniel, right? Mike McDaniel is just a dead man walking when it comes to the job, right? He is going to get fired at some point. That some point hasn't come. And I don't know if it's going to be now. I mean, you take a look at what's next for them after this week. They have, you know, to go against the Bills, a division rival, right? That's at home. Then they travel to Spain, taking on the Commanders, right? There are lots of different places to go with this. I don't think he gets fired right now. I think he would have been announced as fired already if it had been done, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to make a move. They should. They will. But if they were going to fire him mid-season, they would have been done already. With everything going on, there's no need to add more chaos to this locker room already. Keep the head coach. Just let him play out this season. It doesn't hurt. He's going to get a job as an offensive coordinator somewhere anyway. He's a very good offensive mind. I'm not worried about him finding his footing, but he's not going to be the coach of the Dolphins after this season. It just isn't a thing. But, if there was going to be a week, they say there's three things that get you fired, right? A loss, a blowout at home,
Yeah.
on primetime. Those are the big three. A blowout gets you fired, a loss at home gets you fired, and a loss on primetime gets you fired. He just checked all three of those boxes. So there's a real good chance he gets fired here, but playing the entire season out, I don't know what they're doing over in Miami. They've punted on the season already. I guess they're kind of tanking at this point. So we'll see how it goes. I don't see him going, but Lamar Jackson is back. The Ravens dominate. They are back in the race for their division. The Dolphins nowhere close to that, although they did get a big win last week. But let's go around the NFL here, Mehrob, and let's continue with our Week 9 NFL game picks. We start off with a Bears and Bengals matchup, continuing with that AFC North over there. The Bears travel to Cincinnati. The Cincinnati Bengals lose to the Jets last week. They lose to the Jets. The Bears take a tough loss to the Ravens, who just took down the Dolphins on Thursday Night Football. Caleb Williams and the Bears had a 4-game win streak heading into that one. This is a get-right game for them. It's a get-right game every time you play against the Cincinnati Bengals. Not Joe Burrow, Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is there. He's playing really good football. It helps when you can just throw the ball 20 times to Jamar Chase, and I don't blame him because I would do the same thing. This is not a great Bears defense. This is not a great Bears offense, but it's an even worse Bengals defense, and most importantly, it's an even worse Bengals defense. This is what it's going to be. The Bears are going to get right against this Bengals team. They're going to get the run game going. And in a Ben Johnson offense, if you can get the run game going the way that DeAndre Swift had been playing during that winning streak, that was the main engine. Everything goes off the run, right? Kyle Monangai was getting more involved, and that's a huge get for them. I think the Bears get right to defeat the Bengals pretty easily in a game that the Bengals kind of need to win in hopes of keeping their playoff lives alive.
I can see it. I'm going to disagree and roll with the Bengals a little bit. I know they just went down against in a really bad game against the Jets, but the Jets showed out in a big game. When you have the Jets offense has talent at the end of the day. Breece Hall is not something to sneeze at. Justin Fields is a good quarterback, can get it done. Like the Jets just look like the same Jets that showed up in Week 1 when they went squared off against Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. If I'm being honest with you, they did not. They played a great game, so you gotta tip your hat to the Jets and the way they played. I personally don't think the Bears offense is as talented as as the Jets, if I'm being fully honest.
Really?
I really think so. I think the Bengals can get this one done in the bounce back game. So, especially with the Ravens getting a win on Thursday Night Football, making the AFC North a little bit more interesting. I think the Bengals are going to do the same and get something done here. So I'm rolling with the Bengals to get it done against the Bears.
Bengals Bears were split right there. Mehrob, just to give you an update on where we're at as far as our season series goes. Mehrob right now absolutely killing it. 82, 38, and 1. Good for 68 for a 682 winning percentage. Shout out to Mehrob. I'm 2 games back. I'm at 80, 40, and 1. That's good for a 667 winning percentage. So I got to catch up to him. That's 1 game in the books for me to catch up to Mehrob after this week when the Bears beat the Bengals. But we'll keep that in mind here. Let's move on, Mehrob. Talk to me a little bit about the Vikings with J.J. McCarthy taking on the Detroit Lions.
Well, I'd say, I mean, this is a big time game for the Vikings, and I don't think you guys can hear me with this mask on, so I'm going to take it on and off every single time. I don't care. Um, when I'm looking at this Vikings game right here, this is a big game for the Vikings. They kind of need to get this win, but at the same time, it's a big game for both squads, I think. Um, who is it? Hold on. Why is this not showing up here? Oh,
Vikings
they're playing
taking
the
on the
Lions.
Lions.
Thank you. I'm trying to stare at the schedule. I'm like, where is it? Yeah, no, this is a massive game here for the Vikings. At the same time, for the Lions, though, we were talking about it earlier off the show. Aiden Hutchinson just got signed to a 4-year, $180 million deal. I mean, when you look at the Lions side of things, this is a team that's already pretty much invested almost $1 billion over the last 2 years on contract extensions. You kind of got to live up to the hype at some point, you know? So, when I'm looking at the Lions, this is a really legit team. They're my favorites to come out of the NFC the way that they're playing. They've been my favorites to come out of the NFC all year long. And I mean, you have all the pieces in Detroit right now. Good quarterback, great running back, great wide receivers, great defense. You have everything you really need in that Lions offense. And then you look on the other side with the Vikings, kind of a team in a little bit of a limbo here. Carson Wentz goes down with an injury. You haven't seen a whole lot out of JJ McCarthy outside of that fourth quarter against the Bears in week 1. So when you look at both sides, I think the Lions should probably win this game, but obviously it's a divisional game. This is the first of 2 big time divisional games, and especially in the AFC North with how crazy it is, each game is so crucial. So I'm gonna roll with the Lions on this one, but I think it's gonna be a really close game.
Yeah, J.J. McCarthy makes his return in this one. Carson Wentz, season-ending injury. J.J. McCarthy's back. I don't know if that's going to be helpful. The Lions are just a wagon right now, really. The Lions, with the way that their defense was flying around last time out, no one's going to beat them if they continue to play hard like that. Jared Goff playing efficient football. Amon-Ra is amazing. You have Jahmyr Gibbs. You have a disgusting tandem with him and David Montgomery. I think the Lions win pretty heavily. I'm a stick in the NFC North for our next game. The Panthers travel to Lambeau, home of football, to take on the Packers. The Packers come into this game huge favorites here, almost 14 points. The big question for me in this one is Andy Dalton playing quarterback. If he is, the Packers roll, and they roll easy. The Packers got a huge get back with Christian Watson returning last week. It makes a world of difference in a Jordan Love offense when you have a guy that can stretch the field. You have Christian Watson. It was Jaden Reed before. When he comes back next week, week 10, that is going to be a huge, huge get for them. But right now, you have Christian Watson that's going to spread the field deep. That leaves more room for Tucker Kraft underneath. That leaves more room for the quick routes with Romeo Doubs, with the little stuff that they like to do with Matthew Golden underneath. And Jordan Love loves to throw the deep ball. The Panthers have good corners. J.C. Horn, one of the best corners in the league, but I don't think they have the answers for Micah Parsons. I don't think they have the answers for that defense, and I think the Packers win pretty handily in Lambeau.
I'm with you on this one. This is a Panthers team that's really reeling here. Yes, they have some talent on offense with Tet McMillan, and Rico Dowdle's going to be getting some more touches here on the offensive side of the ball for the Panthers. but I'm rolling with the Packers to get it done. They're an absolute wagon, and I trust them. I trust Matt LaFleur and the way Jordan Love is playing. I really do. So I'm rolling with the Packers by a pretty wide margin here.
Yeah, no, for sure. The Packers, the number one seed in the NFC right now, 5-1-1. Their lone loss coming earlier this season to the Cleveland Browns. Wild how that goes. The Chargers taking on the Titans. Mehrob, talk to me a little bit about this matchup.
Chargers Titans.
Chargers Titans.
Interesting game. I mean, Justin Herbert showing up like really like a top 7 quarterback right now in the league. The way he's playing, I know that sounds crazy, with especially how crazy the NFL has been. But Justin Herbert has not missed a beat, regardless of having an offensive line coming off the streets of LA, regardless of having a running back coming off the streets of LA, the third string running backs out there for the LA Chargers. They're playing at an exceptionally high level. They're staying competitive. And I thought this team was going to tank a little bit. They haven't, yes, they lost against the Giants, but I mean, this team is still playing and flying high. They really are. So I like this Chargers team. On the other side with the Titans, Cam Ward's continuing to develop a little bit. He's kind of the saving grace on this Titans team. But I think as he continues, this game is in Tennessee. It's another opportunity to get a big home win against a tough team. I think they can get it done. I really think so.
You're taking the Titans on this one?
I'm rolling with the Chargers, but I think they can. It could be I think it could be interesting, but I'm rolling with the Chargers to get it done.
Yeah, excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. I'm rolling with the Chargers as well. Justin Herbert's playing at an MVP level. The wide receivers are involved in this game. You have Ladd McConkey, who's having a down season. You have a career revival just out of nowhere for Quentin Johnston this year. Kamani Vidal has been huge for them. The Titans' defense is just Swiss cheese at this point. Cam Ward is good. You can't convince me he's not good, at least right now. He's on a bad Titans team, and I don't think he's the problem. Coaching staff didn't help. The weapons aren't helping, and the offensive line for sure is not helping him. He's been sacked the most times in the NFL. These are the 2 most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL, but I think it's the Titans that are going to be paying this time. The Chargers have gone out and added Odefi Owe earlier this season to help with that pass rush. They get Khalil Mack back, and I think it's just not going to be a fun day for Cam Ward back there, and I think the Chargers roll in this one. Falcons 100%. Traveling down to the Patriots. They take on New England and Drake May, who is in an MVP type position right now. The Patriots coming off of a bunch of big wins against not so great teams. Now, the Falcons coming off of just a disgusting loss to the Dolphins last week. This is the point where we look at the Falcons and we say, Falcons, you suck at football. But we've done this before. We have played this game before when the Falcons lost 30-0 against the Panthers, right? We said, Falcons, you're bad at football. What did they do? They proceeded to win 2 straight games, beating 2 playoff teams from last year, the Commanders and the Bills on Monday Night Football, a game that they dominated. Then they lose 2 more. They lose to the Niners. They lose to the Dolphins. This is a very, very bipolar team, but we are being set up for the Falcons to be that team that just shows up randomly. That's the kind of week that it's going to be this week. I think the Falcons get it done against the Patriots. Nothing against the Patriots. I just think that the Falcons are a team that is going to just come out of nowhere and have a good week because they're prone to do that. And I think this is the week that it shows up.
I could see it. I just want to take the mask off for a second when I say this so you guys don't hear me. This Patriots defense is legit. Like this Patriots defense is really legit. Like Michael Penix is going to be running for his life. Is it Michael Penix or Kirk Cousins starting this week?
Michael Penix is questionable. I'm assuming he's going to play after the way Kirk Cousins looked last week, though.
Yeah, if Kirk Cousins plays, there is no way in hell that the Falcons are going to be able to pull this one off
I
against the
agree.
Patriots in New England. I just don't see it. I think that defense is going to be too much. Even if they get Penix back, I mean, the Patriots are just rolling right now. They're hot. They're one of the hottest teams in the NFL, not only just the AFC, in the NFL, hands down. The offense is playing legit. Travion Henderson is continuing to get better. The defense is continuing to get better. The offense is continuing to mesh. Drake May, like you said, is an MVP candidate. The Patriots are going to roll in this one. I think there's going to be some flashes with Drake London and Kyle Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts is going to find his way into the end zone in this game. Shout out fantasy football. But, I mean, the Patriots are that good of a team. I think they're going to most I have the Patriots in this one by 10, 12 points.
Yeah, 5 straight wins for the Patriots. That's tied for the longest win streak that's going on right now in the NFL. They have been absolutely amazing. But again, you look at who they've beaten in this win streak, right? They've beaten the Browns, the Titans, the Saints, the Bills, and the Panthers, right? That's one good win in 5 games. This is going to be the second best team that they've played. And the Falcons, they beat the Bills. So maybe they just get up for AFC East battles over there. We don't know. I just get a weird feeling. I think if I'm listening to my brain, you're absolutely right about this game. The Patriots roll. But I get a weird feeling in my gut here that this is just one of those weeks where the Falcons say, all right, we're going to play football this week. And then they go out and they play an elite football game out of nowhere. Very easily could go the other way, but we trust the gut on this one. We go with the Falcons. Talk to me a little bit here. Giants hosting the 49ers this week. 49ers should get a bunch of guys back. Brock Purdy returning from injury. Giants return back to Tyrone Tracy at the starter at running back. Talk to me about this game.
Jeremy, you're the Giants fan. I'm going to hand the baton over to you because I need you to give me your insight here as a Giants fanatic here on this one.
Oh, you want some insight? I'll give you some insight. The New York Giants are going to win this football game. I'll tell you that. The San Francisco 49ers come into this game battered, bruised, injured, and famously, they don't like playing at MetLife. A lot of people don't like playing at MetLife. They don't have fun times at MetLife. A lot of injuries happen for them over there. Now, that's not going to stop them from playing a good game of football. The defense is the big issue for me with the 49ers. You don't have Nick Bosa. You don't have Fred Warner. You can't really stop a lot of teams like that. You need your guys. You lost your top 2 players. You lose Dre Greenlaw in the offseason. You lose Talanoa Hufanga in the offseason, right? These are all guys that are hugely important to this team. The 49ers are injured. Sure, Brock Purdy's returning, but he's going to be dealing with a nagging turf toe. I don't know if he's going to be 100%. Mac Jones, I don't think, gets the job done. Christian McCaffrey is going to go off against this Giants team, but I think the Giants come out, and with that defense, the front 4 that they have, they'll be able to get it done. The big concern for me, and the reason that I might take the 49ers in this one, Paulson Adebo is out. He's a really good corner. He's not going to play. The 49ers are going to be able to throw on the Giants. The Giants' defensive collapse all happened when Paulson Adebo went down against the Broncos, and then obviously they didn't play very well last week against the Eagles. So that's something to keep an eye on. If they can get the passing game going, that's going to be tough for the New York Giants. But I'm taking the Giants in this one. I think even without Cam Scatterbo, Jackson Dart is going to be able to get things going. Tyrone Tracy, I think, is a really solid running back. He's going to be able to help, especially in the passing game, as like another wide receiver. He was a wide receiver coming out of college, or he was a converted wide receiver coming out of college at Purdue. He's someone that has a lot of skills in that area, and I think that's going to help a lot. The tight ends have really stepped up for the Giants. That's something to watch out for. But I think the Giants get a win at home in this one. The Niners have to travel cross-country.
100%. I can 100% see it. And honestly, I'm rooting for you. As a Seahawks fan, we root for nothing less than the 49ers losing games and just being horrible at football every which way. But I have to say that the Giants are probably going to win this game. Jackson Dart is playing phenomenal. We just saw how the Texans were able to steamroll them on the offensive side of the ball. I think they're going to be able to get it done. I think the Giants are a phenomenal team. I just think the Niners, it'll be a closer game than we think, but it's going to have to be the Niners putting up points against this Giants defense. And I just think with the way that they're able to get pass rush on Brock Purdy, I think they're going to be able to bring him down more than once in this game when it matters most. So I'm going to roll with the Giants on this one.
It's a good pick. I like that pick. I like that pick a lot. The Colts travel to Pittsburgh, take on the Steelers. The Colts, number 1 seed in not just the AFC, but the NFL. They are one crazy dropped pass, touchdown from Adonai Mitchell away from being undefeated right now. The Steelers, on the other hand, their defense is really concerning to me. What's supposed to be the strength of their team has really been their weakness. Aaron Rodgers has been pretty solid all season long for them, but the Colts are just a different beast. I think Jonathan Taylor just runs all over them. Their run defense has been atrocious, the Steelers has. They're going to get run on. Jonathan Taylor maybe 4 touchdowns instead of his usual 3 this week, and the Steelers are just going to get murdered in this one, despite, I think, Aaron Rodgers trying to keeping them in the game a little bit more than you might think.
Yeah, I'm actually I might disagree with you on this one just because the Colts offense is that good. I think Jonathan Taylor is going to be the personified back in this one. I think he's going to be an absolute game changer, especially with the way that the Steelers are able to stop the run right now. They're like 25th in the league in terms of stopping the run. So I think the Colts are going to have an absolute field day. I could see them going off for 30 plus points in this one, and it's just going to be about can the Steelers keep up? Can Aaron Rodgers continue to play at a really high level? Can 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers continue to look like he can wind the clock back? I don't think so. So I'm going to roll with the Colts in a really big way in this one. I think the Colts get it done.
Fun game coming up, Mehrob. The Broncos take on the Texans. Talk to me a little bit about that one.
An interesting one. Another really interesting game. Another AFC matchup. The Broncos start a good team. Are they a great team? I wouldn't say that this is going to be the game-changing decision on that one. That's going to change. That's going to tip that boat. But the Broncos are on a 5-game winning streak right now. Since that loss to the Indianapolis Colts when they lost on that game-sealing field goal, they've been on an absolute tear. Bo Nix has been playing at a really high level. The run game with J.K. Dobbins looks like it hasn't skipped a beat. Him and RJ Harvey as well, the rookie RJ Harvey. You have Cortland Sutton back there. The one thing that makes me a little bit worried about this team is losing Pat Surtain to a nasty injury. He injured his knee on this one. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks with an injury. I can't remember exactly what it is, but the Broncos do look really good. It's just going to be I think they'll take down the Texans on this one. But can they hang with the Chiefs? Can they hang with the Commanders? The Packers coming up on their schedule. That's going to be what it matters most. That I'm a little bit hesitant to say that they can still get it done against some of the better teams in the league. But offensively, I think they can hang with anybody. I think Bo Nix had a sophomore slump at the beginning of the year, but since then, he's been playing at a good level, at a high level, using his legs to get first down. So I think he's a really good player. On the other side for the Texans, I think they're not a bad team. I just think CJ Stroud needs to learn to be a little bit more consistent. If he can do that, I think they can be good. But I'm still rolling with the Broncos on this one.
Yeah, no, the Broncos, the other team that have 5 straight wins with the Patriots over there. The Broncos have been really, really impressive. These two teams are built the exact same. They really are. This is a Broncos team that has an elite defense and a solid offense. This is a Texans team that has an elite defense and a solid offense. I think the real question is going to be who can get to the quarterback more. And with that Texans offensive line being just as bad as it is, with Woody Marks being questionable in this game, I think that's a huge loss for them. He started to take over that backfield. I think the Broncos win in this one. They get 6 straight wins, longest win streak in football. Bo Nix, I have my hater hat on for Bo Nix as long as I possibly could. I can't do it anymore. He's not bad at football, guys. I was wrong.
It took that game against the Giants for you to learn.
It took 1.5 seasons of him being good at football for me to feel like he could be good at football. But you know what? There he is. I had Auburn Bo Nix stuck in my head. That's why I didn't like him so much. Because I saw him at Auburn and he just was not that. But, Oregon can do wonders for a man, and so can Sean Payton and that Broncos offense. I still think he's more of a system quarterback than anything, but definitely not top 10. But definitely a good quarterback. My Bo Nix hater hat has to be sidelined for a quick second here. The Broncos roll. Their pass rush too good. The Texans won't be able to handle it. Nick Bonito goes off for a Myles Garrett-like performance. About 4 sacks in this one for Bonito. The Jaguars travel to take on the Raiders. God, this game sucks. Sorry. It's like, what are you supposed to say about this game sucks? It does. The Jaguars are a good football team. The Raiders, not a good football team. But, it's the Jaguars versus the Raiders. The Jaguars are going to roll in this one. I've got no doubt about that. Trevor Lawrence is going to have a good game. Geno Smith is going to throw another 4 interceptions in this one just because that Jaguars defense loves to force turnovers. That's their thing. They love to do it, and they're very, very good at it. The Raiders very prone to give turnovers up. The key for this one, can the Jaguars play clean football? If Trevor Lawrence doesn't make rookie mistakes, if Trevor Lawrence plays like he can, like he shows flashes of, this is going to be a Jaguars route. If not, the Jaguars still win, but the Raiders keep it close. I'm taking the Jags to win this game pretty handily.
I'm rolling with the Jags on this one too. The one thing that gives me a little cause to pause on this one, the Raiders are getting their big tight end Brock Bowers back, and I think that does open up this Raiders offense a little bit. I think it'll open up Jacoby Myers on the outside, and it'll open up the run game as well for Ashton Genty. But it's gonna, of course, at the end of the day, it's gonna be about who's throwing the football. Can Geno Smith throw the ball accurately down the field? I don't personally think so anymore, even though I was a fan of him when he was with the Seahawks just a year ago. But um, the Raiders, the Raiders really desperately need a win here, especially getting the thumping that they took against the Kansas City Chiefs last Sunday, 31-0. I think they really need to get a win this week, but I'm still rolling with the Jaguars. I just think it's going to be a little bit closer than we think. The Raiders will keep it close going into the fourth quarter. It could be a tie game, could be a 3-point game, but the Jaguars open it up late in the game and just take control and end up winning this one by about 7 to 10 points, I'd say.
Mehrob sharp on this one. Jaguars by 7-10. Bet you get good odds on that one. But Saints taking on the Rams. This is my survivor pick. The Rams are going to roll in this one. Saints, a little bit of intrigue in this one. Tyler Shuck making his first NFL start. He is set to start the rest of the season for the New Orleans Saints. They really went straight 50-50 with this one. 8 games for Spencer Rattler and 9 games, for the rookie Tyler Shuck. We'll see what he's got. It's a tough first test, but rookie quarterback making his first start is always something to keep an eye on. I think the Rams roll in this one.
Absolutely. The Rams absolutely rolling this one. Puka Nacua back for the LA Rams. He's going to be back. He's the best wide receiver in football when healthy. Sorry, JSN. Give that title back over to the real number 1 wide receiver in the league. And yeah, it's going to be about what Tyler Shuck can do. I think offensively, it doesn't matter what the Rams can do. I think it's going to be dependent on how Tyler Shuck does with the Saints offensively. But defensively, I just don't see them being able to handle that Rams offense. I really don't. I think the Rams are going to be firing on all cylinders. I could see them putting up 30 to 35 points in this one and rolling pretty handily.
Mehrob, did somebody say game of the week? I think I heard somebody say game of the week. The Chiefs travel to take on the Buffalo Bills. This is a fun one every single time in the regular season. The Bills, they win. They win in the regular season. They beat the Chiefs in the regular season. That's where we are. This is a Mahomes MVP level season. The Bills haven't really played Mahomes at MVP level in a long time. Josh Allen playing elite football. I'm going to need to see more out of him because I don't think they're going to be able to get the run game going as much as they had against other teams recently.
I hear you.
The
I hear you.
Go for it.
No, go. You're good.
The Chiefs are rolling. They really are. Kareem Hunt got into the end zone a couple times with the return of Rashee Rice. This Chiefs offense is humming, but you have to go back to history. And while the Chiefs dominate in the postseason and when it really matters, the Bills, especially at home in Orchard Park, the fans are going to show up, and the Chiefs, I don't think they're going to get this one. The Bills with a massive, massive win this afternoon, Sunday afternoon.
I am actually going to flip the other way. As much as it pains me to do, I'm just going to do it because the way that this Bills team is playing right now, I just can't trust it. I can't do it. And especially with on the other side with how the Chiefs are playing. They're playing such clean, maybe not clean, but consistent football, at least offensively. Yes, didn't Mahomes throw like what did he throw 3 picks against the Commanders in the first half? Or 2 picks?
2 picks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Picks in the first half. Yeah, he did that. But he still went off to put up 28 points, and the defense only gave up 7 points to a fully loaded Commanders offense. This Chiefs team's good, guys. At some point or another, we got to stop discrediting this team. Offensively, they get Rashee Rice back. This team looks like a well-oiled machine. Defensively, yeah, they had some issues in the early parts of the season, but it's looked like they've been able to iron out some of those wrinkles. So when I'm looking at this Chiefs team, I think they have everything they need to be successful offensively, defensively. They have every piece to go on another Super Bowl run, and I'm rolling with them to continue to play at a really high level. Is this game in Buffalo? Yes. Do I think that Buffalo can win this game? Absolutely, and it deserves. That's why it's game of the week. But in terms of Josh Allen playing a clean game of football and being able to keep up with Patrick Mahomes in this one, I don't see it, man. I don't. I want to. I want to see it, but I just can't, especially with how the Bills have been playing. Losing that game to the Patriots, losing that game to the Falcons. Yeah, they dominated the Panthers, but so does everyone these days. So it's just going to be about who shows up for the Bills. Is it going to be Patriots Bills or is it going to be Panthers Bills? But I'm rolling with the Chiefs on this one.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I think the Chiefs are the better team, but God, in Orchard Park, game that's going to mean a lot to these Bills. I think they come out with a lot of juice. Sunday Night Football. The Seattle Seahawks, Mehrob, travel to the nation's capital, take on Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. Talk to me a little bit about this one.
This, if it wasn't for the Chiefs Bills game, this would be game of the week. This is such a fun game scheduled for primetime Sunday Night Football. The Seahawks coming off a bye, looking like they're going to be ready to go, nice and healthy. The defense well rested as they need to be. This team was absolutely so banged up on the defensive side of the ball. So they desperately needed a break. So I think that offense is going to be back to its primetime self with Jackson Smith and Jigba and Cooper Kupp. But on the other side for the Commanders, what kind of gives me some cause to pause. This is a Commanders team that's going to be without Terry McLaurin for this one. And you might think that's not a big deal. They haven't had McLaurin for a lot of the season. They've been rolling with the Deebo Samuel, Jaden Daniels connection. But especially with how good this Seahawks defense is, they're going to need all of their pieces, all their entire engine firing on this one to be able to take them down. I think the Seahawks defense is going to harass them, especially that offensive line for the Commanders isn't as good as we think. And I think this is a big time game for the Seahawks. I think they roll into Washington and get a big time win on primetime. We haven't seen them win a game on Sunday Night Football in 3 years now. I think the last time they won was in 2022.
That's not a good stat.
Yeah, no, it's not. But I think the Seahawks come out and win this game in a pretty dramatic way.
Yeah, I tend to believe that the Seahawks are going to win this game. Let me tell you something, though. Terry being out, that's the reason why. The Commanders are in a must-win situation in this one. They're 3-5. They're fading in a division race that they're going to need to win to make the playoffs. Jaden Daniels is back, and that's a huge get for them. Sunday Night Football at home. Seahawks haven't won in 3 years on Sunday Night Football. Ooh, The Commanders come in with a little bit of juice here. They need this one. When I say they need this one, I mean they need this one. Otherwise, their season is just about done. Kaput. Over. God, everything is telling me to pick the Seahawks, Mehrob. I'm telling you, everything is telling me to pick them. Every single thing. That defense is elite. JSN is going to cook the Commanders secondary. It is not even going to be close. But at the same time, the Commanders need this one. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Desperate measures on Sunday Night Football. Jaden Daniels is back. He could put on a show. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt hasn't really done anything. Maybe Bill has a big game in a bounce-back fashion. God, I was real gung-ho on the Seahawks until you told me they hadn't won on Sunday Night Football in 3 years. Like that's a real thing.
They haven't won Sunday Night Football since 2020.
Yeah, 5 years. Ooh. Toss-up of the week. I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks. I already went with my gut for a couple of these picks. You know what? Screw it. Give me the Commies. I'm taking the Commanders. The Commanders win on Sunday Night Football. Yeah.
Well,
taking the Commanders. This is not a confident pick for me, but I'm going with it.
Every game matters now, my friend. We're in a tie situation for our record. Every game matters.
Every game matters. But you know what? When I get a game up on you for this one, it'll be cool. A little bit here, a little behind the scenes, but behind baseball here. I do my big spreadsheet prediction. The Commanders are the only team that I've got 100% correct so far. And I do have them beating the Seahawks for my preseason. So we'll see what goes on there. We're holding out hope a little bit that I can get 100% right. But that doesn't matter. I'm putting this one on vibes. I'm putting this one on desperation, and I'm taking the Commanders to beat your Seahawks, Sir Jack Skellington. I'm finishing off our game picks here. Let's talk a little bit about the Cardinals and the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. Kyler Murray, 9-0 in Jerry World, AT&T Stadium throughout his career. 1-0 in high school. Has won a couple times in college, and of course has never lost in the NFL. He looks to extend that streak against Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. He should be back. That's a huge get for the Cards. The Cowboys defense, bad, awful, atrocious, terrible. Whatever word you want to use that is negative, you can use for the Cowboys defense. It is really bad. The Cardinals, on the other hand, also not great, but they've been competitive in every single game. And that's really all you need. In a game where everything's going your way, the Cowboys are favored in this one. I'm taking the Cards because mostly of that Kyler Murray streak, but also because the Cards have just been playing good football, and they're going to get a close win one of these days. It's time. I'm taking the Cardinals.
I'm rolling with the Cardinals as well. Kyler Murray returning for this Cardinals offense. The Cowboys really just not. I don't know if they're not playing good football. I don't know if the team's bad. I just can't get a read on this Cowboys team at all anymore. It's a very, very inconsistent team. But I'm rolling with the Cardinals to go into Jerry World and get it done as well in a big way.
All right, we've got it going. I've got Bears, Lions, Packers, Chargers, Falcons, Giants, Colts, Broncos, Jags, Rams, Bills, Commanders, Cardinals this week. Mehrob, we differ on 4 games, I believe. We were different on the Bears and the Bengals. We were different on the Commanders and the Seahawks.
Patriots, Falcons.
Was that it? Maybe it's just
Patriots, Falcons as well.
Patriots, Falcons.
I got Giants, Chargers, Lions, Patriots, Colts, Broncos, Bengals, Packers, Rams, Jags, Chiefs, Seahawks, and Cardinals.
4 games. We got split on the Seahawks, Commanders, Chiefs, Bills, the Falcons, Patriots, and the Bears, Bengals. Big week for me to take a 2-game lead on Mehrob Fatemi over there. Keep an eye out. Let's move on, though, to our next sport. Let's talk a little NBA basketball, a week and a half into the NBA season here. It has been wild. It really has been. Not anything that I expected so far this season has been going on. I want to start off in the Western Conference here. I want to start off with the MVP frontrunner. I want to start off with Victor Wembanyama. He has been just amazing. Everything that he was promised to be, he has been this season. It has been so impressive to see the way that he is playing. 5-0 right now, averaging 118 points per game are the Spurs. They have been just dominant again, and it's all through Victor Wembanyama, averaging 30 points per game. 30, 14, and 3. And then when you add a couple blocks in there, right, like he's ridiculous. 5 blocks, 9 blocks, 6 blocks, 3 blocks, 1 block. He's ridiculous. He's going to be the best player in basketball by next season, if not already this season. Victor Wembanyama is going to power the Spurs to maybe the 1 seed in the West right now.
I'm not ready to go that far, but the Spurs are playing ridiculous basketball, and he deserves all the credit in the world. The only reason I say that is because of how loaded the West is. You have 2 teams that are sitting at the top with undefeated records with them and the Thunder. But it's so loaded. The Warriors, the Nuggets, those 2 teams just nipping at their heels. There's some other teams that have fallen off to start the season, not slumping, but just sitting at 500 right now. I don't know. When I'm looking at the Spurs, they're just playing such good basketball. And you said it. Victor Wembanyama is the reason why. He's just playing like an absolute monster. The way he's able to handle the ball. Nobody that tall should be able to handle the ball the way he does. Nobody that tall should be able to walk up the court and pull up from 30 the second he walks up like he's Trae Young or Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Like nobody should be able to do that. So, no, he's an absolute freak of nature. He had 27 and 18 last night, plays all 40 minutes of the game. He's playing minutes. He's playing consistent basketball right now, and he's playing like at a high level. There's nothing you can say, and he has so much help. Steven Castle, Devin Vassell, Julian Champagny. Across the board, this is a team that can compete, that can really contend in an already loaded Western Conference. What did we say before the season started, how loaded the Western Conference was? And then we brought up how the Spurs could be good. Well, Jeremy, they're pretty good.
Yeah,
they're pretty good in basketball this year.
Yeah, the first 5-0 start in Spurs team history, which is wild for a team that had a dynasty earlier. And they're doing this without 2 of their best players. De'Aaron Fox hasn't played this season. Jeremy Sohan hasn't played this season. This team is only going to get better. God, that's scary. Victor Wembanyama, maybe we start to put some early GOAT agendas with Victor Wembanyama here. I've heard some people start to do that, and you know what? I am surprised I can't call him crazy, which is wild. On the other side of things, I'm going to stick in the West here. We have to talk a little bit about the New Orleans Pelicans. What are they doing down there in New Orleans? First of all, we knew they were going to be bad, right? And if that was it, that's fine. They can be a bad team. The thing that's really bad is that they traded away their first-round pick unprotected in the draft for Derek Queen, who's not even starting. He's not even playing. They're starting DeAndre Jordan. What are they doing down there in New Orleans? You can't trade away your first-round pick unprotected and then proceed to start DeAndre Jordan 4 games into the season. You can't do that. This is just incompetence at an NBA. It's ridiculous how bad it can be 4 games into a season. If I was a Pelicans fan, I would have already quit on the season right now, the way that it's going. Zion's playing good basketball too. Like, this team is healthy. They should be good when they're healthy. They're 0-4 because they don't have a center, and they can't tank. They don't have a first round pick. They can't tank. It's pissing me off. Get the Pelicans out of the league. Relegate them. Put Duke up. I don't care. Get them out of. It's ridiculous. Get the Pelicans out of here. They should not be allowed to play on an NBA court right now.
I don't think it's the entire team. I just think the front office needs to get a full sweep going over there. Coach, front GM, owner, entire thing. Just sweep the whole thing out. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, especially that dad Jeremiah Fears as well, who's playing at a high level. They still have Trey Murphy, Herb Jones. They have they have everything they need except a center because
Except a
of
center.
course they want to start 40-year-old DeAndre Jordan over Derek Queen, a young prospering rookie.
They
I
drafted
don't
like
know.
3 centers too. That's the thing. They drafted like 3 centers. I I don't get it.
It makes no sense. But it's just the Pelicans. We didn't expect them to be good, so what can you do?
No,
Jeremy,
but
talk to me a little bit about these 76ers as well. Honestly, let's switch over to a better topic, over to the Eastern Conference. Talk to me a little bit about BJ Edcombe. Talk to me a little bit about Tyrese Maxey and how that young duo is playing. And does this team possibly trade Joel Embiid? Question mark.
you don't trade
Question.
Embiid if you're going on a run. The way that the East is looking, they've got a chance. This is the thing with the Sixers. If they could stay healthy, they were going to be a top 4 team in the East. Tyrese Maxey back to health. He was injured like all of last season. People forget. And when he's healthy, there's a reason he got paid. Joel Embiid is going to be slow at the beginning. He's going to be slow in the middle. He's going to pick it up towards the end. If he's still healthy, then that's going to be a huge get for them. But VJ Edgecombe, his connection with Tyrese Maxey, the duo over there, they have been just an absolute sensation in Philadelphia. Philadelphia didn't need any more great sports teams right now, but they've got one. The Philadelphia 76ers are no joke. Joel Embiid, while he's still, again, he's dealing with a lot of injuries, so it's hard to judge him right now. He's trying to play safe, but when he's on the court, they're a better team. It just is that way. Quentin Grimes playing great basketball again. I thought last year was going to be a bit of a mirage, but he's getting it done. And if you continue to win basketball games, there's no reason to change anything up. It would be stupid of them to trade Joel Embiid. It really would be, especially if you're continuing to win games. Now, if you're tanking, get him out of there. But they're winning games. There's no reason to go that route yet. I think the Philadelphia 76ers absolutely a threat to come out of the East and what looks like it's going to be a crazy Eastern Conference this year.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The Sixers we knew the Sixers were going to be a top 6 team. They'll make the playoffs, but we didn't know they were going to be this.
Right.
They've thrown their hat into the conversation with the Cavs, the Pistons, the Knicks. Throw the Celtics in there. They're playing phenomenal basketball. And yes, is it 4 games through 82? Absolutely, and it's early. But they're playing at a really high level, and they're going to we just got to pay homage to that.
Yeah, we're making a lot of big reactions to 4 games into the season for these teams.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's what we got to go on, and that's what we got. I want to talk about a couple individual performances here, individuals that have really showed up and showed out this season. Austin Reeves, first and foremost. He has been just everything the Lakers need. He stepped up huge in the absence of LeBron James, who's not going to play for another couple weeks, averaging 34-10 is Austin Reeves. He hits a game winner last time out. He has been just everything they need. He dropped 50 points earlier this season. Lucas started off hot. We talked about him as an MVP candidate, but now Austin Reeves, I won't say MVP with him, but still, he is playing out of his mind. Is this something that's sustainable for the Lakers? And if it is, does it make them into title threats this year?
I don't know if it's sustainable because he has, 2 50-point games and a bunch of 40-point games already through 6 games. I don't know if it's necessarily sustainable, but Austin Reeves is playing phenomenal basketball. He's carrying this Lakers team right now, especially with the team that's missing Luka Doncic right now. I think when they get him back, we'll see how that duo ends up meshing together. They don't really play defense. They kind of play uh, pretty much duplicate styles of basketball. But um, he's playing unbelievable basketball. He's turning into a legit scorer. He was already a legit scorer, but he's continuing to grow and becoming more of a secondary option. And then we'll see what happens. Get Luca back, get LeBron back. Maybe trade for an actual center and trade for some depth if you're the Lakers, if you're LA, and see what this team can do. I think they have base pieces to be a good team, and they're proving that again. But do they have enough pieces to actually win a championship? Eh, not yet, man. Like I can't say so. I'm sorry. I just can't say they have it yet.
Let's take a ride around the league here. I tend to agree with you. I don't think they're quite title contenders, but there's definitely some reason to be excited if you are in Laker Nation right now. Take a ride around the league. I want to swing back over to the Eastern Conference. The Bulls on top, the Bucks, and Giannis, who's just the best MVP candidate. He's going to be up there once again, 36-7. He's just everything you need him to be and more. Shooting nearly 70% from the field right now is Giannis, and he's powering this Bucks team. He is the engine. He's the only one that's powering this Bucks team right now. You've got a nice point guard over there for the Bucks as well. It's showed up a couple times, but they're up at the top of the East. The Heat at the top of the East. They're kind of coming out of nowhere, although I think they're going to fade back down to earth soon. Is there anything that you wanted to touch on in the NBA as we're 5 games into the season?
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit early, but I mean always the Nuggets are always a fun team to watch as we continue to see how they're going to grow and progress. The Mavericks, Anthony Davis went out with an Achilles injury. We're still waiting to see how that ended up panning out. Hopefully it's not anything too crazy, but the Mavericks still playing good basketball. They're going to continue to grow around their young star Cooper Flag. And yeah, I mean it's just a little bit early. We'll see how it all plays out as we continue to roll through the season here. But yeah, fun first week of basketball. It's fun to be back in the world of the NBA.
And we're going to keep an eye on everything going on in the NBA as the season continues to develop. But as one season starts, another season ends. The World Series, just 2 games left, potentially, maybe just one in baseball this season. I want to shout out Trey Savage real quick. Trey Savage has been amazing for the Blue Jays. Just 14 months ago, he was making his debut in Single A, and now he's won 2 games in the World Series. 2 games in the World Series Trey Savage has won. He has been I won't say the main reason why they're winning games, but he has powered them to 2 wins in this World Series, Game 1 and in the most recent one, Game 5. Game 5, of course, in a 7-game series, the winner of that one, when it's tied at 2, wins about 75% of all series. Now, it trades back to Toronto, the number 1 seed in all of baseball, the Toronto Blue Jays. They host the Dodgers for the final 2 or 1 game of baseball. Trey Savage not going to get back on the mound, but 39 strikeouts is a Blue Jays record in a postseason run. He deserves some shine. Vlad Guerrero Jr. has been on a tear. 8 home runs in the postseason. He had like 25 all season long. He is basically going to hit half the amount of home runs that he hit in the regular season in the postseason. He has an OPS of 1,377. Over 1,000 does Vlad Guerrero Jr. That offense for the Jays has been everything they needed to be and more. And they are putting the Dodgers in a situation where they literally cannot lose for the rest of the MLB season. They beat up Shohei Ohtani, Vlad Guerrero Jr. with a home run. That 18-inning game, it looks like took a lot more out of the Dodgers than it did the Blue Jays, despite the Dodgers winning that game. And now Canada behind them, back at home. That atmosphere is going to be raucous over in Toronto. And Toronto looks to close out the series tonight, Mehrob. What's your take on the World Series right now?
Yeah, I mean, flat out, before we even look at these two teams, it's been an unbelievable World Series. Two teams that have really battled it out. We thought it was going to be the Dodgers taking care of business in this World Series. I thought it was going to be 2-2, and then the Dodgers run away with it and win the next two games and call it a series. But the way that they've played throughout this series, the way that they've been able to control, the way that the Blue Jays have been able to control the narrative, honestly, outside of that crazy 18 inning game, you can't blame them for how they've been playing. So, uh, I think the Blue Jays are going to lose tonight only because Yoshinobu Yamamoto is going to be out there for the Dodgers, and he's the best pitcher in baseball. I'm sorry, he's just the best pitcher in baseball right now. So I'm going to roll with the Dodgers tonight, but the Blue Jays are going to win Game 7, and they're going to bring the pennant home to Toronto, I think.
Yeah, the best pitcher remaining in baseball, we should say, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, has had an incredible postseason. 3-1, 28 innings. 17 hits allowed, 26 strikeouts, and 28 innings of baseball. 3-1 overall is a record. He went 9 innings last time out in Game 2, shut down that Blue Jays offense. The only game where the Blue Jays have been held to less than 5 runs was when Yoshi Yamamoto was pitching. I think it keeps the same way. I think you're right. I think the Dodgers stay alive in Game 6, but that sets up a do-or-die Game 7. That's not to say Kevin Gausman is chopped liver. He's also had a very good postseason, and the way that the Blue Jays are swinging the bat, it's going to be tough. Again, it just depends on who can get to the starter first. If the Dodgers starter can get settled and go deep into a game, the Dodgers win a game. It is as simple as that when it comes to the postseason, when it comes to the Dodgers right now. That bullpen just I don't trust at all. They really spent their entire bullpen trying to win that 18-inning game, and it worked, but at what cost? You need to win 2 straight games now, and you need to rely on your starters. They might be able to do it. I've got no doubt that they have the talent to do it, but the Blue Jays put in a very advantageous spot. They look to close it out at home, where they have been. They've won 2 times as many games as they've lost at home. They've been amazing over in Toronto, and at the Rogers Center, it's going to be rocking tonight. Halloween should be a fun time. Maybe we scare the Dodgers back into back to LA, and the Blue Jays take the series tonight. We'll have to see. But Game 6 tonight, Game 7 tomorrow if necessary. I agree with you, Mehrob. We see a Game 7 coming up. But the World Series really has been cinema. It's been one of the best World Series in recent memories, probably since 2019, that Nationals versus Astros World Series. A little biased, but I think that was generally considered a pretty good World Series. But we are taking the Blue Jays to win this one overall. Is that what I'm hearing? Blue Jays in 7?
Blue Jays in 7.
Blue Jays in 7. That's the official swap of the Triple Threat show. We all had Dodgers in 6 at the beginning of this series. Now we swap over to Blue Jays in 7. Amazing. First time that they would win in 33 seasons. But thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in to today's episode, today's spooky episode of the Triple Threat Show. We have been your hosts, Jeremy Lapidus and Mehrob Fatemi. Thank you so much for tuning in. You remember, you can check us out everywhere you get your podcasts. That's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Podcast, and more. You can find us on YouTube at Triple Threat Show, Twitch at 3 Threat Show, Instagram at 3 Threat Show _, and on TikTok at _, Triple Threat Show. We will be back on Tuesday for the NFL Super Trade Deadline Show. We will talk all of the trades that happen over the weekend and all of the trades that will or won't happen on Tuesday's trade deadline. Make sure you tune in then. We will see you. Have a great weekend. We'll see you then.